What's up, family, and welcome to another episode of the Dear Black Woman podcast, where we amplify the voices, stories, and brilliance of Black women across the globe. Now, today I have the privilege of speaking with an extraordinary mother-daughter duo, Dr. Nikki Harris and Briana Harris. Now, Dr. Harris is a powerhouse in leadership development, known for her bold approach to empowering women worldwide. Her daughter, Briana, on the other hand, is a rising star in the world of film, making her waves with her through storytelling with her production company, BDonice Productions. We're going to talk about leadership, storytelling, entrepreneurship, and the sacred bond that fuels their journey. So get comfortable because today is going to be a good show. Hello, Dr. Nikki.
Well, hello, Briana. Hello. How are you?
I'm great. How are you ladies doing today?
Wonderful.
Phenomenal. I want to first thank you and welcome you to the Dear Black Woman podcast.
Well, I'm excited to be here.
Now, let's jump into some questions. My first question to you all is, as a mother-daughter duo, what has been the most rewarding part of supporting each other's dreams? And Dr. Nikki, I'll let you start that one. Yeah, mama.
So first and foremost, it's me seeing my daughter live out her purpose without me trying to live through her, right? Really seeing her do the thing that she's been doing since she was in a car seat. So I enjoy watching her grow, develop, change, even make mistakes, and then learning from those mistakes and then growing some more. So for me as a mom, I'm always excited to be on the sidelines. I'm always the loudest person in the room, cheering her on while trying to wipe away the tears, make sure mascara's not running and all the things. So I really enjoy seeing her be her, not me, but be her. And that's what I enjoy most about this duo thing that we got going on these days.
That's wonderful. Now, first of all, Briana, I just want to say congratulations, because tell everybody, you just graduated, correct?
Yes, I just graduated from Alabama State University in theater.
Yes, girl. Listen, I'm just gonna give you a round of applause all the way around, okay?
Oh, but she left something out, ma'am. I need you to put the cap on.
I know she did. I was really trying to get her to say that. Like I want you to tell the people your business.
I graduated with magna cum laude.
Go ahead, Black girl. Just go ahead. Okay. Like out here making waves in the world. So Briana, the question to you again is, as a mother-daughter duo, what has been the most rewarding part about supporting your mom and each other's dreams, so to speak?
Just being able to be there whenever she needs me in any way possible. Just being there because she does the same for me. So just being able to be there as a supportive system.
I love that. Now, Dr. Nikki, you built a global brand with DrNikkiSpeaks Enterprises. What has been the key to your success?
So I would say I'm building because I haven't built it. So I'm not completely, like a global name like I want to be, but I'm getting there. So we're on the road.
We're going to claim it, okay?
Listen, I believe it with everything in me. So to be honest with you, I think the most successful part about what I'm building is to see the people and the lives that I've been able to impact and to watch them do stuff they didn't think they could do. And just recently, I had a young woman who I've been working with. She competed on the stage. She didn't think she was going to win all the way through. She kept saying, do I have a chance? Do I have a chance? Do I have a chance? I told her, I said, you have just as good a chance as anyone else. She got on the stage and she slam dunked. She took home a third prize. And the other person who they were like, I don't think she's going to make it, she took home second prize. So they both walked off the stage. We claimed $16,000 that night from that pitch competition. So just seeing Black women do stuff that they didn't think they could do or even know what was possible. So being able to see them leverage capital for their businesses. To me, that is an incredible thing, because we already know that with best investment capital, Black women get less than 1% of those dollars. So seeing them actually leverage that kind of money, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it's a whole lot for somebody who don't have.
It's a lot for, yeah, I was going to say it's a lot for somebody who don't have, we didn't have those stepping stones and those foundations. So yeah.
So I think, to me, it's just seeing these women grow, these women go on and do greater things. So I enjoy seeing these women grow and know that I had a part in their growth and development.
I love that. Now, Briana, you started your own film production company, BDonice Productions. What actually sparked your love for storytelling and sparked you to want to actually open this business?
Well, I really enjoy writing. I've been writing since I was little, so I really enjoy writing scripts and plays and like films and movies and different things like that. So I did a short film in 2022, and that's what really sparked me to start my own business, because I really enjoyed being able to shoot the film, like work by do everything, like write it, produce it, and everything, and host a movie premiere. So I really enjoyed doing that, and that's kind of what sparked me to start my own business in production.
Okay, well, the next time you host a movie premiere, you invite Dear Black Woman. We want to come this media and cover it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now listen, filmmaking is a tough industry, and I know this because I've worked in it. That's actually what one of my degrees is in. What has been some of your biggest challenges, and how have you overcome them?
I don't know if I've really had any bigger challenges, because I had to like put it to the side. I guess that's a challenge of being in school. So I couldn't really work on it like I wanted to. But now that I'm graduating, I'm able to put forth it now, because it was really hard to balance that while being in plays at school, being in productions, doing my own thing in school. So I couldn't balance both of it at the same time.
All right, girl, you out of school. It's time to take over the world, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what lessons have you both learned from each other through your entrepreneurial journey?
For me, as a mom, I think I've learned to be fearless watching my daughter, because she had an idea, she went for it, she did all the things, and all I was able to do is say, just add a little bit of wisdom to it. But I mean, she went for it, and I wish that I had done that when I was younger, just went for it, not because, as you get older, you start second guessing and thinking, okay, well, if I do this, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. She didn't really care about that. She just went for it. And I was really proud of her for doing that. And as I sat there in the theater watching her work, of course, I wear glasses, so I got fog all in my glasses, can't see, and just watching her, really bring to life something that she wrote. I'm an author, so watching her write, and like she said, she's been writing since she was in elementary school. And one of her teachers, we had a parent-teacher conference one time, and the teacher said, "Your daughter is a gifted writer." And I said, "Okay." So we started kind of putting energy to that, and so just watching her, really walk out her gift, to me, that was absolutely inspiring. And she did it. Of course, she had the safety net of her parents, but just going out there and just doing it. I thought, that was incredibly fearless. And I really enjoy watching her do that.
I love that. Okay. Now, Dr. Nikki, your father's words had a huge impact on your journey. Can you share that story with us?
Absolutely. I think I was about 14, maybe 15. I know I wasn't 6. I was between 14 and 15, really early in high school, freshman year. We were going somewhere and he started talking to me. My father's an entrepreneur, as well, but he's a clinical psychologist by profession. And so one of the conversations he had with me at 14, he said to me, "Nikki, I want you to not just get a job." He said, "but I want you to get in position to create jobs." And so the first shot I got at that, I was in my early 20s, maybe early mid 20s. I started a tutoring company because I'm an educator by training. And so I started this tutoring company, went on to write multiple grants and had the state and federal government fund some of those programs. And then I started hiring people and writing checks. And so that was me living out the words that my father told me. And he said, "Whatever degree you get the top one." So that's why I have doctor on the front of my name. So it was the highest one to get. So I got the top one. And as a Black woman, to be quite frank with you, I've had to have that to navigate in certain rooms, because there were those who were less skilled, less qualified in the same room with me, where it required me to have additional training and advanced degrees to walk in the same room. So all things have not been created equal for me as a Black woman, but the experience, the education, the training I had allowed me to compete at the tables.
Absolutely. And I think we've all learned it, which is why we go out and get education and training in so many different areas and in so many different things. Because I too have learned, as I stated, I have my first degree was in media production and in music business, but I've since gone to get degrees in culinary science, in nutritional science, and so those are the things that we as Black women, we understand that in order to be taken seriously in some of these rooms, we have to show up better than some of the people that are actually in the rooms.
Absolutely.
So my next question again for you, Dr. Nikki, is you emphasize the importance of faith, fitness, and self-care. How do you maintain balance in your busy life?
So I'll be really honest. There are seasons where my life is lopsided, right? Because I may have a heavy travel schedule with very demanding deadlines. And so sometimes my fitness and my self-care get compromised. But I've also learned that when I don't engage in fitness and self-care, I cannot show up with the full authenticity that I need to show up with. And so that's why it's a big part of that. And so not only is fitness and self-care really paramount in me as an entrepreneur and as a leader, I think for me, faith also plays a big role. But to be quite frank with you, when I don't lean in heavy into self-care, I don't function as well. And so right now, I'm actually planning my getaway with me by myself, because I need to lean into self-care, where no one is saying, Mom, can I? Mom, will you? Mom, can you? Or no one saying, baby, can you find? Baby, can you do? So I'm looking forward to that time where I can just be me and, relax with nobody asking me for anything, as they would say on the Cosby Show, anything.
Anything. I know that's right. Now, Briana, your company aims to change lives through the arts. What impact do you hope your films will have?
I hope that my films will bring a different perspective to life, because I'm a believer, so I really want to be able to showcase that through my films, but in a different way, like not just the cliche, but being able to tell the truth and the real stories and the authentic stories and the transparency through my films, not just the normal, or like, as they would say, corny way in that, but just being able to show the transparency and being able, like anyone, like anybody, there is not limited to just one specific group watching the films, but anyone. So that way, when you have anyone watching it, is capable to transform lives.
Yes, I love that. Now, take us through the process, Briana. When you're writing a new script, where do you draw your inspiration from?
My mind, like everything is up here. Like I don't have, like, I'm just so creative and I have so many ideas. So literally all I have to do is just get my laptop and just start typing, and everything just comes to my mind. Like it just flows. And I believe that it's God speaking to me in a way. He's just telling me what to write. So I'm just typing and typing. It's like I don't know where I think he just physically places those thoughts in my mind, and I'm just typing. So I don't really pull from anything. It's just sometimes I use my experiences that I went through to put into the writing, but majority of the time I can just sit there and I can just write and write and write.
It's just visions that God gives you. That's a talent, boo. That's definitely a talent. Now, both of you all mentioned your spirituality and the heavy belief that you have in God. How has your spiritual beliefs guided your journeys, both in business and in life? And Briana, I'm going to start with you on this one.
Mm-hmm. So how has my spiritual journey guided me in life?
Yeah, how has your spirituality guided your journey in life and in business? Now, we heard you talk about, what you want to present to the world as a believer. So yeah, tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so I feel like without God, I can't do, like, I'm nothing. And like I feel like I can't do what I do. Like I feel like if I didn't have a relationship, or if I didn't like have God guide me, I wouldn't be able to use my talent. Like, I believe that he gave me this talent. It comes from him. So I'm just a vessel to be able to portray that on the screen or through my writing. So I truly believe that he's the reason why I'm able to get every success that I get. So
Okay, now, Mama, because you got to be a proud mama sitting here listening to her talk. Okay, so how has your spiritual belief sort of guided your journey, both in business and in life?
I grew up as a pastor's kid. So I grew up as a pastor's kid, and to be quite. Okay.
There you go. Come on.
Okay, so I grew up as a pastor's kid, and I really honestly didn't want anything to do with that level of ministry or even that level of being engaged with the church because of the things that I saw and that I witnessed. And God, in his infinite, hilarious wisdom, thought it would be a great idea for me to marry a preacher. And so I do recall that this is when I was a freshman in college. I was going back to school. I remember like it was yesterday. We were in the drive-thru at Burger King, and my dad said, Nikki, I think you're gonna marry a preacher. And I said, over my dead body. And as God would have it, I had to die to a few little things. Long story short, I married a preacher turned pastor. And so that really created an avenue for me to really start to lean into trust. And I had to have an enormous amount of faith to be able to walk out the faith assignment that my husband and I shared. So over these years of having been in ministry for 27 years now, my faith is a big proponent. I lead with faith before I make any transaction, any business deal. I pray over it before I engage in partnership. I ask God, Lord, if this is your will, show me what I can't see, because I believe that sometimes, as the Bible talks about, being equally yoked, that's not just with, covenant relationships and marriage. That applies to business. If I get into business with somebody who I'm not equally yoked with, there's going to be some friction. And so I'm very careful with who I engage in business with, because when I do business, and that requires a covenant relationship. It requires an element of trust and my faith in you as a business partner to do the right thing. And I need to know that you're going to walk in integrity. And so with that being said, some business relationships were not successful because we determined we were not equally yoked, and some have continued to flourish over the years. So I pray before I make any business decision, before I make any business deal. And sometimes it requires me to fast. I might wait a few days before I finalize the decision, because I want to be clear that this is what God wants me to be doing in this said season. So I take the Lord with me everywhere I go. I'm known to pray in business meetings. I'm known to seek God for counsel when we cannot make a decision. I've been known to stop a meeting and say, wait a minute, let's hear what God got to say about the matter. Because if we are going, and so I do a lot of ministry in the marketplace, which means that's ministry outside the four walls. That's going into the business arena. And I need to make sure that I have the wisdom of God when I go in here and make these decisions. And even when I try to quote unquote not have per se God in the room, he tends to show up anyway. And so that's because I take him with me. So with that, to answer your question, I don't make any decision without him.
Okay.
That's just what it is.
Listen, first of all, you can't make no decision without him, because when you make decisions without him, he tell you that your decisions are jokes. Okay,
that's all facts. All facts.
Like you say you're not marrying a pastor. God say, okay, I'm gonna show you. Okay?
Indeed, absolutely.
He say, tell me one more time what you're not gonna do. Now, Dr. Nikki, you've empowered countless women. What's one piece of advice you would give to those who feel stuck right now?
So interestingly enough, even as quote unquote powerhouse of woman that I am, I've had seasons where I felt stuck, right? And so for me, I'll talk about what I do and then I'll talk about what I share with others. When I feel stuck, a lot of times I'll go back to the drawing board. I'll go back to the last word that I knew I heard and try and find out where there might have been a breach. So if I'm feeling stuck, is there something that I didn't do in the process? Is there something that I missed? And if it is, then I'll go back and let's rewalk this step again. And sometimes you have to do a do-over. It's okay to start again, even if you got to do it more than one time. That's what growth is for. That's your growth margin. And so sometimes we just need to be able to have the grace for ourselves to start over if we need to. And so what I tell a lot of women who feel stuck, I tell them a lot of times, sometimes it's really relegated to your mindset. Because if you're stuck in your mind, you're going to be stuck in position. Yes. And so what you have to do is, I teach them to do what I call mind work. I teach them to do what I call, it's kind of having an entrepreneurial mindset. That's a mindset. You can't be an entrepreneur without the mindset of an entrepreneur. So we've got to talk about our mind, because our mind is where everything happens. So when you feel stuck, there's something going on in your mind that's telling you you can't move forward. So a lot of times fear is a big proponent of why we don't move to the next level. Fear is a reason why we stay paralyzed. I'm a witness to that. Fear is a reason why we don't fulfill our destiny. And fear is really false evidence that appears real.
Yes, it is.
Right. Yes. And anytime you hear the voices, I can't do that, that's not the voice of God, because you can do everything God created you to do. And if God gave you the vision, he's already provided for you to accomplish it. So when you hear things like, I can't do, I can't afford, I don't have enough, that's not the voice of God talking to you in that moment. That's anytime I hear I can't or it's not possible, I then know that it's absolutely possible. So to those that feel stuck, I would tell them, what's making you feel stuck? What's got you right here? Because you can change your circumstance. It may not happen overnight, but if you put the right strategy and the right tools in place, you can absolutely change and get unstuck. And sometimes getting unstuck means leaving certain environments that cause you to feel stuck. It's leaving certain mindsets that cause you to feel stuck. And you got to talk to yourself. I have affirmations that I have on my wall in my office that when I have those moments where I feel like I'm not able to, I read those affirmations, and they all start with I am.
Yes.
Every one of them starts with I am. And so teaching people how to talk to themselves has, from my experience, helped them to overcome the being stuck. Because being stuck is a temporary position. And if we don't do the work, it becomes permanent.
Yeah. Now, Dr. Nikki, what does it mean to you to actually lead unapologetically as a Black woman?
To lead unapologetically, first for me meant I needed to stop apologizing for who I was first, right? Because I can't lead until I embrace me at full throttle. And I've learned that Dr. Nikki at 100 proof is hard for people to swallow and hard for people to digest. And that's okay. That just means that they're not my people. Right. Yes. And so once I was able to embrace me at full capacity, and to be quite frank with you, I don't know that I've always showed up at 100 proof. Right. Because I've been able to discern the room and know, okay, they can't handle 100 proof. They might be able to do 75, maybe 80. Because me at 100 proof terrifies people.
Yeah.
And so I learned that, and because I've learned that, I've learned how to maneuver in a room. So once I was able to accept me at 100 proof, then I was able to show up authentically. So I stopped apologizing for who I am. If you got an issue with who I am, you need to talk to the creator, because that was his idea. Now, my job is to live out who I am. And so I think that's been probably one of the greatest lessons that I've learned. I had an aunt, she's gone on now, but she used to tell me, she said, you don't have to give, explanation for things. Stop explaining yourself. And so when I stopped doing that, I think that freed me in so many ways to just simply be who I was. And so I think when we stop doing that, and then we start to embrace us at 100 proof, it's just like alcohol. Alcohol at 100 proof might take you out of here. So being able to live, I mean, like some 100 proof vodka might knock you out. So you have to learn that 100 proof of who you are is who God needs you to be every day, right? and then having the wisdom to know when somebody can only digest 75. And so there are rooms, and I don't frequent those rooms a lot, that can only deal with 75. I go in the rooms that can handle 100% because that allows me to grow. Yes. If I'm in a room where it's only 75, I'm not growing in that room. I'm actually I'm dumbing down myself just to be in the room with you if I've got to show up at 75.
Yeah. Now, Briana, let me ask you this. What message do you want young Black women to take from your work?
To never give up and to keep going no matter how hard it gets. Because there were so many times where I felt like that. I was thinking that maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I shouldn't do this. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know how this is going to grow. But I've learned to trust the process. So I want other young women to know to trust the process. And your journey isn't going to look like everyone else's. Don't listen to what someone tries to tell you about your journey. You just stay on your course and the course that God has for you. Because somebody else, it might take them this amount of time to get there, but it might not take you that long for you to get there. So it's about being on your own path.
Absolutely. And having faith in God and listening to God's word with that as well. Now, what is one project each of you worked on that you are the most proud of today? Briana, I'll start with you on that
one.
Yeah, so I actually worked on this 2 years ago, and it's like I cannot wait to put it out. Like it's just sitting in my locker, like it's just sitting. It's like, so I'm so proud of myself because I think it's capable of being that. So it's, I really like, I have no words.
Listen, I'm telling you, when you put it out, when you do that movie premiere, when you just call me, be like, hey, Auntie Cammy, can you come be media on the red carpet? I don't even want to walk. I just want to be media with my camera. That's it. Dr. Nikki, what about you?
So to date, I've got some projects I'm working on now, but to date, I have 2 projects that I'm extremely proud of for 2 reasons. 2 reasons because I'm writing a legacy and a pattern for my children to follow. One of them is called The Power of Process. It is a book that talks about the journey you go on to get from where you are to being able to walk in God's divine favor and provision for your life. And this is a book that both of my children have read, and it serves as a blueprint, not just for them, but for my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren and for others. So it's on record. When I'm no longer here, this will be still speaking in real time and be as transparent as it is and still be powerful because it's pages in a book that they can follow. And I have another project called My Husband's Intercessor. And what this does is it's teaching women how to pray and intercede for their spouses. And so it leaves on record for my daughter, my son, my son-in-law, my daughter-in-law, and those that follow behind me. It is a blueprint for them to have successful families and successful marriages. So to date, those are the 2 things I'm most proud of, but I got my hands in a couple more things right now. Okay, but those 2 things have really, that I've heard, have really been able to change some lives and really been able to change some marriages and change some insight and help to grow some families. So I'm really proud of that.
I love that. Now, in 5 years, Dr. Nikki, where do you want your business to be? What's your plan to get there?
So I would like to, in the next 5 years, to be publicly traded. And one of the things that I'm doing right now is working with an executive coach to help me to leverage some of those arenas that I haven't been able to tap yet. And building that strategy, building those marketing plans, building the framework to be able to position my business to be publicly traded. Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually because I am a coach. I understand the importance of having somebody else that has gone further than you have to help you to go to the next level. And so I'm working on that. And so I hope that in the next 5 years, listen, we publicly traded, we on, the stock market, and they like, yes,
we're gonna speak that into existence. Okay.
We're
gonna claim it. You're gonna be publicly traded in 5 years. Let me know
in 5 years. You hear me?
Some stock, okay?
You hear me? Okay. Multi-million dollars. You understand what I'm saying? So we can leave, we can leave a global legacy, but a financial legacy that my children and my children's children, they can just walk into something. They ain't got to have the struggle of or the all night working and all. Listen.
I love it. Yes. Yes.
We're not trying to do that for the next generations. We're not trying to do that.
I know that's right. Now, Briana, you want to grow your business and expand it on YouTube. What's your content strategy right now for growth?
So right now I'm looking to get myself a on camera or being able to be in contact with someone that does have a camera and have that equipment so I can go ahead and start filming because I'm ready to work. Like I'm ready to go ahead and get these films on the road, like on YouTube.
Where you located?
I'm located in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay, so y'all here, just so we hear out there, anybody in Tulsa, Oklahoma who is available to work, and I'm gonna put it out on my threads too.
Yeah.
That I'm looking for a camera person in you want a female or does it matter?
It does. I'm ready to work, so it doesn't matter to me.
Say she don't care. There's somebody that's ready to work. Okay, I'm gonna put it on my threads. I'm gonna say I'm looking for somebody that's up and coming in the film industry that wants to partner with a production company in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area, and we're gonna see what bite. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Yes. Now, ladies, as a mother-daughter duo, how do you keep your bond strong while also building your businesses?
So one of the things that I do is try to keep open lines of communication. So I have a in-home office, and there are times where I'm working and my daughter, she will knock on the door and say, Mom, you got a minute? And I might say, give me 10, give me 15, give me 20. So she can come in and she can talk to me about anything she wants to talk about. And I've learned to brace myself because maybe I wasn't ready for that conversation, but I learned to brace myself, but create an opportunity for her to say whatever she needs to say, express whatever concerns she might have. But because I think that's important sometimes. I think as parents, we need to do that because our children are growing and developing and they don't always have the wisdom that we have. And we need to be open and honest about whatever that journey might be. So that's one of the things that we do. And then from time to time, we'll go do things together. So we are planning this year to actually do a mother and daughter trip. Once my life slow down, that's one of the things that we are planning to do together. But sometimes there have been times she'll come and get in my bed and we'll watch a show together. She might say, Mom, if you watch this new show, this, and we'll binge watch some different things together. And so if there's a new show she likes, she'll say, Mom, you've seen this, you got to watch this. And even if she already watched all of it, she'll come down and watch the show with me and we'll have some conversation about it. We don't like to do it with my husband because he be trying to cut the TV off and stuff. So we be like, man, can you get out? Let us watch the show. But yeah, so those are things that we kind of do together.
Did you just throw him under the
Listen, because my daughter will tell you it's hard watching shows with that man. Woo. Listen, I'm just trying to I want to be real for people. I want to keep listening. I'm gonna try to tell the truth. Listen, it's hard watching shows with him. So we have to sneak and watch shows together because if he in there, he gonna be trying to cut it off. He don't want us to go to the next show. He want us to wait for him to catch up, and I'll be like, look, we try to watch the show.
He's just a distraction to the show. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what's one piece of advice you both would give young Black women pursuing entrepreneurship? I'm going to start with you, Briana.
I would say go for it. Don't let anything stop you. It might be scary. You might not know what to do, but I would just say you can do anything that you put your mind to. So I would say just go for it.
Okay. Dr. Nikki, what say you?
I'm going to have a little bit of a different answer. I'm going to say go for it, but I'm also going to say plan a little bit. Yes. Plan for to go for it. Plan before you jump in the ocean. Like, I agree to go for it, right? I need you to go for it, but I also want you to think through so that you can have a real strategy for how you're going to do it, right? So if you are a young person and you have a desire for entrepreneurship, first thing I'm going to tell you is, what is it you really want to do, right? Have you figured out who your customers are, right? And then what type of business do you want to do? So I'm going to have those type of conversations. Absolutely go for it, but I'm going to also say have a strategy for how you're going to go for it, right? So if we're going to jump in the ocean, let's make sure we at least got some flippers on, or we got a life vest, because if you jump in there and you can't swim, you're going to drown. So I'm going to say prepare for the go forward.
Okay. Now, finally, how can our listeners connect with you and support your work? Briana, I'm going to drop myself and your mom off the screen. I want you to tell everybody where they can find you. And then we're going to come back on. And Dr. Nikki, I'm going to let you do the same thing. Okay.
Okay.
So everyone can find me on YouTube and Instagram at BriaDonice, BriaDonice. I'm working on a page for my production company, but for right now, for my YouTube channel is Bria, Bria Donice, Donice. That's for my YouTube and my Instagram page.
Well, hello everybody. You can find me at hashtag DrNikkiSpeaks on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Dr. Nikki Speaks is how you can find me. And please connect with me. I've got some incredible content. If you are a person that you want to have a successful marriage, successful relationship, listen, you want to check out the content. It's going to change your life.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Nikki and Briana, for just gracing the stage of the Dear Black Woman podcast. It has been an honor to speak with you ladies today. I'm so excited, y'all. First of all, just so you know, Dr. Nikki and Briana are the cover story for our May publication. So y'all gonna see them on the front of the magazine too, okay? So, you know, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the magazine. Order your copy today so you can read more about their story and their journey as they enter into entrepreneurship, or as Dr. Nikki grows and scales her company so we can buy stock in it.
That part.
But no, thank you ladies so much for coming and joining us and sharing your journey and your story with us today.
Thank you so much for having us. It was a pleasure.
Listen, you guys, this has been another remarkable, phenomenal episode of the Dear Black Woman podcast. And as that wraps up, it is just a special thank you to Dr. Nikki Harris and Briana Harris for sharing their journeys, their wisdom, and their light. Remember, family, your story is your power. Your legacy is what you leave behind. So stay connected with Dr. Nikki and Briana through their platforms and be sure to support their work. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and never forget your magic is real.